Hey everybody, Andy here with Mossy Creek Fly Fishing, bringing you the fishing forecast for this week. Today is Monday, September 18th. We've got some cool weather ahead of us this week. We finished up last week with a tiny bit of rain, but not a whole lot of difference in our gauges out here locally. So let's jump right into it, talk about what we can expect this week and things we got to look forward to coming up. Now, like I mentioned, we did have a little bit of rain at the tail end of last week, but looking at gauges this morning, we've seen very little change to our current stream flows. Tiny little bumps on some of our streams here locally, but not a whole lot. So it means a lot of what we're going to talk about for our local trout waters is going to be more of the same. So as a reminder, your Shenandoah National Park streams are still closed, but we are still fishing trout. We're getting out on our spring creeks here. Mossy Creek in particular, Beaver is also still closed pending rainfall. But Mossy Creek's been in really good shape. We've had folks giving us good reports. We've had some of our guys out fishing it here lately. And we're catching fish throughout the vast majority of the water right now. Our flies we're doing well on. Looking at your surface patterns, grasshoppers everywhere. If you walk the banks of the creek right now and look down at your feet as you walk, you're going to see grasshoppers jumping all over the place every step of the way. So tons of grasshoppers available to these fish, some really big ones too. When I was out the other day, I saw a lot of yellow and green colored hoppers, some tan as well, and sizes ranging from small little like size 12s on up to humongous size 6 grasshoppers. So you can fish hoppers of all sorts of size ranges. Fish are willing to come up to a lot of those. And in the morning you can still see Tricos coming off, so you can look for those guys. Probably pushing a little bit later in the morning when we have these cooler nights that we're starting to see, and also longer nights as well. So water temps are cooling off a little bit, but our surface activity with all of our terrestrials is still going to continue to be strong. If you do see some overcast days or some rainy days, or if you get out there and the water's got a little bit of color, you can try dredging bottom with some little micro streamers as well. Little things like near enough sculpins or some of our jig sculpin patterns have worked really well. The Crostons patterns that we have here, a couple of our local favorites. Your tactical jig zonker is one that I like to use a lot. Real simple patterns, but they get down quick and you can fish them right along the bottom like a little sculpin pattern would. You can also nymph fish. We've got a lot of fish kind of piled up in some of your better pools on Mossy. So if you come to a big deep pool, the fish are there. If you can't get them to come to the surface, maybe you're seeing them swipe at streamers, put on a nymph pattern and dredge that through there, and you might be able to get some of those fish to commit on that as well. Now, looking at other trout opportunities, gonna have to travel a little bit. Yesterday I was over in West Virginia driving back across the state, and we were getting rainfall just about all the way back to Harrisonburg, and then once we got close, that rain stopped and we didn't get a whole lot here. But over the mountain they did get quite a bit of rain, and it looks like the further west you go, the more rain they had come down. So looking at gauges over there, you've had a lot of streams bump up, and so you can get out and fish those. Cooler temperatures over there, so water temps are cooler as well. You can get out on some of your big waters even and find cold water. So if you look at some of your catch and release streams over there, things that hold fish year round, you can travel a little bit and check those out, find good flows, and get out and do some trout fishing on a little bit higher water if you'd like to. Tailwater streams are in the same shape that we've been looking at. Your Jackson River is still running the same flow, so good wade fishing level. We are again seeing things cool down a little bit down there, but really our fishing's going to stay the same for the most part. Fishing nymphs through your fast pocket water. Might be able to start doing a little bit more streamer fishing here soon as we progress further into the fall. That streamer fishing is going to pick up, and hopefully again too, if we get a little more water, you'll see that streamer fishing pick up as well. And then talking about our smallmouth fishing, we are in good shape out there. River is still low and clear, but our bug fishing's been great. We're having lots of cicadas on the water, and we're having tremendous topwater fishing. Now, you may see that topwater fishing be a little slower first thing in the morning as we have these cool nights. the water temperature drops. When you get out first thing in the morning, you might need to go slower with your retrieve speeds. You might need to fish a little bit deeper. So if you get out there and you're trying some top water and nothing's happening, you're not seeing bugs moving around, go to like a crayfish pattern and fish some of your big dominant ledges, your laydowns, things like that. Fish a little slower, give them a little bit easier of a piece of food right down in their face, and they should still be willing to eat it. And then later in the day, as we warm up a bit, you start seeing damselflies and dragonflies out. That's when you're going to have your better topwater fishing. So don't get discouraged right there early in the morning thinking that it's not going to happen or you're not going to have that opportunity. We are seeing cooler water temps, so if you want to get out and do some musky fishing, for the most part, we're looking at water temps that are fishable for that. I do recommend checking it. The South Fork of the Shenandoah, when I checked water temps towards the latter half of last week, was right on the edge still. We were in that low 70s mark and warming up throughout the day, so a little warmer than you would have liked to see it for that, but we've had a couple of cool nights between now and then. Our daytime temps haven't been that hot, so you may check that and find that you can spend part of your day doing some musky fishing, part of your day doing some smallmouth fishing. Good time of year to be able to do both of those things. Your musky are going to be fairly active with the water temperatures being towards the upper end of their threshold, so their metabolisms are firing on all cylinders. You don't have to throw giant flies. We've had a bunch of bycatch on musky lately, just throwing smallmouth flies out there. So don't feel like you've got to go and throw a big 12, 13-inch fly. You could size that down a little bit, and that may even be beneficial to you. Now, as far as some other things to mention here in our shop, we've got a big end of summer sale going on, so sales on a little bit of everything. Come on into the store and take a look. There's all sorts of stuff, and it's limited inventory on that. Once it's gone, it's gone. So we're going to see a lot of our new fall stuff coming in. A lot of that's arriving this week, and we'll be putting that on the walls. So some new stuff coming in to look at, and some of the older stuff going out at good prices. So stop on by and check that out, and we'll update you through the week if we have any changes in our water conditions. Small chance of rain at the end of the week like we've had just about every other week, so we'll see if this one pans out, and we'll be here next week to update you again. Thanks for watching.